everybody, and welcome to Try It Out Tuesday on the Bee Crafty Facebook page. As you get here, please like, share, say hello. All of that stuff that helps with the old meta algorithms would be marvellous. I will, of course, hang on for a few people to join in before I get started. But if you are catching up on YouTube or later on and you want to know immediately what we're going to be doing some art journaling tonight in my notebook. Now, these are 2 pages that I used to clean off last week, so we're going to be just starting to fill them in so that they don't go to waste, which is great. So like I say, we'll hang on for people, and if that sounds like your particular brand of excellence, stick around. All right. So let's get to it. Who have we got with us so far? I can't tell. Because, you know. Well, I just can't. 5 comments. So we've got Sam, Caroline, Pauline, Barbara and Alison. Hello, my ducks. How are you? Hello, Rachel. And to anyone else that I'm now mostly going to miss, because I will actually just try and crack on. If you do have any specific questions, though, please put them on, and I will do my best to answer them. Make no promises, but I will do my best. I can't do better than that, can I? Hello, Lynn. Right, so, there's a right and a so, nice and early on. Here's what we're doing Here's what we're doing tonight, fans and friends, odds and ends. We are going to be doing some art journaling. Hello, Gail, where you been, duck? Well, I know where you've been because I know where you live, but, you know, anyway. So tonight we're going to be doing some art journaling, okay? We're going into my little notebook I started doing. Show everyone you can art journal in whatever you've got. All right. Now, last week, hello, Dawn. Last week, when I was doing my spotty double layout in, hang on, let me just get it, my Dina Wakley, which I know I can't find. Now, you were all here, so you know I did it. I seriously can't find it. I'm not even joking. Isn't that just ridiculous? There we go. So I did this last week. Okay, you can catch up with that on the Bee Crafty Facebook page, or it is also on the YouTube channel. So if you go to the playlists on the YouTube channel, for example, you could select Bee Crafty Stamps Faces and it'll be in that playlist. Okay, so you can search by that. But if you just want to scroll down the videos, pictures, this will be in the top so you can see. Anyway, using up the ends of the paint from that and showing you, for example, what to do with the black paint that was on the Inkables Big One circles, we just sort of put it all in here so it didn't go to waste. Okay, Shazza, big shout out to Shazza. We want a big round of applause. Okay, she's having a bit of a shocking week, but we're here for you, so that's okay. So yeah, so we put the paint in here because you don't want it to go to waste, do you? No, you don't. You want it in these books, ready to go. Now, if you are working in something like a notebook, or something with thinner pages, okay, what this also does is it gives you a priming layer, okay? So it's already adding in that layer to sort of, for want of a better description, thicken up those pages for any mediums you want to put on top. And the beauty of using Dylusions paint for that is it's not going to resist any other things you want to put on top, okay? So if you want to use Dylusion spray or distress sprays on top of that, it's not going to resist and bead the ink, which is fabulous. Sally, hello. Oh, we are getting some live people, as Sally says today. Right, so like I say, if you haven't been on for a while, hello Tracy. Oh, lots of love. Hello everyone. Like I say, if you haven't been here for a little while, this is just a plain notebook that I actually bought. I'm just going to name it. I got it from TK Maxx, okay? It's just a little line notebook, okay? Because I love my journals. I love all of them. Like, honestly, deep down love. But if you're crafting on a budget, you know, if you've got £20 to spend on your crafty product, say that's your budget, okay? You don't necessarily just want to buy a book with it. You might want to buy, because £20 gets you, what? Half a dozen Dilutions paints. It'll get you a couple of Dilutions paints and a stamp set. So it'll get you, do you see what I mean? Whereas we've all got notebooks. So I thought, if you want to start doing art journaling and you would rather spend your budget on mediums and stamps, because obviously once you've got your stamps you can use them all the time, that's totally understandable, but you need a surface. So I wanted to show that you can do this in a notebook, just a notebook that you're going to have. All right, now all of these pages you can catch up on the YouTube channel, okay? So we're going to work on this one tonight. Now, what I've also been doing is using up bits of paper that I've, you know, been mopping up with and stamping some doodle art things on, okay? So I've been doing some birds and then I just add in some extra details after, okay? And I've been using, so this is the Dandy Daisy, and this is on the spare pages from my small book I was talking about the other day. So I stamped some things on it and then I sort of heat embossed on it as well, and just to sort of give me some funky flowers. So we're probably going to incorporate those too. So what I was thinking was, so this is where I've been to my cutouts box and I've decided I want to use one of these birds, I think. Okay, so in these, on this scrap paper that I've stamped on, I used picked raspberry and rustic wilderness. So I'm thinking those are the colours I'm going to use to build, okay, onto this notebook. Yes, like Sally says, if you're looking for something more heavy duty, board books from charity shops. That being said, our MDF mini journals, you know, they're actually a lower price way of doing it as well if you're looking for something more rigid. So, you know, there's lots of ways of doing it out there. The point is, don't think, oh, I can't art journal because at the minute an art journal isn't in my budget, okay? Because yes, you can. And we almost insist upon it. All right, so I'm going to grab a couple of blending brushes out. And I've got some D'Inkables. I've got the leaf from number 6. You do get the innie with that as well. And I've got the spatter from number 3. And what we're going to do is we're just going to build up a background on here. All right? So, oh, let me just, I've got an itch on my eye, sorry. Picked up the wrong one. So we're just going to build up a background on here, sort of focusing on these colours, but of course we do have those yellow hearts, so we don't want to forget that actually. And I'm going to grab my mustard seed as well. And the thing is, the colour on these backgrounds is actually, from the Dilutions paint, a pink and yellow being brought together. So it will work. And the secret with art journaling, it's not a secret, I'm going to actually just start laying some things down while I'm waffling. The not so secret with art journaling, for me, and I've said it before, so if you've heard it before, you don't have to listen, okay? People go, well, when do you know you're happy with it? What do you do if you don't like it? I keep going. If I don't like it, I keep going. There is no stopping until I like it, because if you don't like it, it's not finished, okay? So look how easily, okay, just putting on those leaves there has already transformed that page. It now looks like it's intentional, yeah? So you could take some of your flowers and build them up, and it's already an intentional look. Do you see what I mean? Or you could take in something more plain and put But do you see what I mean? Just by adding that one D'Inkable there, it's transformed it. Okay. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in with my mustard seed. Tell you what, we're going to clean this actually by spritzing it and then just inverting it on here, just so we don't lose that ink. Beautiful. And then you sort of get a shadow effect of it, don't you? And now we're going to go in with our mustard seed. But what I'm doing is I'm flipping my template so that the leaves are sort of facing different direction, if you see what I mean. Like this top leaf is now going that way instead of that way. You know what I mean. So we're going to go on with our mustard seed. Just add in a few more. It's just a great way of building a background. And of course you can use this alongside your Jungle Leaves big one, which I think would give more. And I have done an art journal page this year using the two of them together. So you can check that out on the YouTube channel as well. So as we did it to our mustard seed, we'll do it to this, to our picked raspberry, we'll do it to this one too. So we're just going to spritz that. Do you know what? I'm going to put that on a different one. We'll just leave that there. Okay, now I'm going to give that a little waft with my heat tool. Okay. Just to dry that off. Now obviously it is a distress ink, which is a water-based ink, so if it gets wet it will reactivate it. But you know, it will stop it moving straight away. Okay. Gail, did you just refer to Chris as the walking wallet? I don't really know what to say about that. I'm sure he knows, like, it's not like I'm going to tell him. Alright. So then I'm actually going to... I want something else. There we go. I didn't know what it was till I saw it. So from D'Inkable set 2... I'm going to get the little distressed diamonds. They're so cute. And these are great for texture paste as well. As you can see, you've got sort of like distressed details on here. Now, there is a 6x6 distressed diamonds inkable if you're looking for something to cover a larger area. But the thing I like about these is it's great for just adding in some texture paste and things like that. If you haven't seen the D'Inkables, the Bee Crafty D'Inkables before, they're about ATC size, okay, and they're a great way of building up your collection of textures. Again, if you're looking to get more for your budget, which is great, and we're totally with you on that. Alright, so we're going to add in, I'm just going to add in a few of these, you know. And then maybe a few down here. And then I'm going to mini mist that, because I think this is going to look awesome done that way. Oh yes, I think so. Well, yes I do. Alright, so again we'll give that a little blast with our heat tool. And here we go. It is a bit tropical, isn't it? Which is why I'm definitely thinking my birdie is going to love. And I'm actually going to go for the centre. Usually for my stamped element, I go to the left or the right. But I'm thinking he's going to want a bit of centre stageness. Yes, I know what I said. Right. So here is where I'm going to do something I don't do a lot of necessarily. If I'm on thinner pages, I'll use stamping tissue or whatever. But I'm going to stamp directly on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a super skinny slim underneath the page so I've got a flatter surface. So this is one of the biggest super skinny slims. I think that's the biggest one that comes in the set of 4. Okay, and I'm going to go for the Journaling Essentials number 2 to build on this sort of leaf effect we've got going on. So I'm going to go up to here, and Sam's been cleaning her D'Inkables. Do you know the funny thing about, I don't think it's any secret necessarily that my craft room, although you haven't seen it, there is a Instagram reel of it if you're really desperate. My craft room is, what's the word to say? An obviously creative space. Okay, it's a mess basically, and whatever. But my Inkables and D'Inkables, it's like strict organisation. They're all clasped together in their sets, or the tag sets are in 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. And then the 6x6 Inkables are in a tub in alphabetical order. I know! I thought it was weird as well. My craft room is well used. Yes, Sam, we can spin it that way if you like. Alright, so then I'm going to swap these leaves. As well, I use these leaves a lot in black, you see, and I want to just add in a bit of colour. So, I'm going to use that one. And then I'm going to swap over to this one. I think with this one, we're going to go in with a little bit of our rustic wilderness. A little bit of rustic wilderness. Here we go. And the thing is, as well, I will say about my craft room, you know, whilst we're talking about it, room is a very, very generous word to use for it, I think. You know, room implies a certain amount of square footage that just isn't in here. It's just not. Not that I'm bothered, I'm very lucky to have it, I knew that. But it is a cupboard. You know, if the stairs went over the top of it, I'd be like Harry Potter. Right. So again, I'm going to put a bit of a heat tool on that. It has 2 doors, it's definitely a room. Well, in fairness, dude, my hall has 2 doors, but I wouldn't say that's a room. It's a thoroughfare. My teachers at school always used to talk about a thoroughfare. And they always used to say about, like, walking to the gable end. You know, and it's like, dude, I'm 6, I don't know what a gable end is. Stop using words. I do now, I would like to point out, just very briefly. Okay. Now, this needs something else. And I'm thinking what it needs. I saw it on my desk earlier. And I was like, that's what it needs. Now it's gone. There it is. Needs some washi tape, I think. It needs just a little bit to break that back up again. I have a lot of shelves. Some of them are collapsing under the weight. They need, like, strategic help. So I'm going to rip up my washi. And I'm going to just place it in, I'm not going to say strategic areas because that sounds like a level of planning has not gone into it, which certainly hasn't. Okay, then we're not going to concern ourselves too much about if it goes off the top because I trim all those anyway. If it goes off the edge. I do, it does. Things just disappear. They're right in front of me and then they're gone. Right. Now on to D'Inkable Spatter from set number 3. And this is why we don't, or should I say, I don't say never, because that's how you get shown up. This is why, as yet, we've never retired a D'Inkable set, okay? Because, you know, this is set 3. I think we're now on set 12. And they're just awesome, okay? So this spatter is brilliant for so many purposes, okay? Sure, I am just going to quickly demo. So if you like the flicky ink look, you know, like the ink drops and whatever, but you don't like getting in that sort of messy, you know, like me, then that's absolutely fine, because using your D'Inkable spatter, you see, you can add what looks like random spattery dots across different areas of your project. So it looks like ink spatter, but it's not. You've used your blending brush or a blending tool, and it means you can be more accurate about where they go as well, yeah? Which is wonderful for those people that crave accuracy. All right. I'm going to put that on there. And actually, before I do this, now, I was saying on the... I'm going back to my spatter in a second to finish that thought process. But if you do recall, just quickly before I do the next step, I did say on my birds, you can see in the backing of that bird is the background script stamp, okay? So we're going to add a bit of that before we add our texture paste on. So I'm going to grab my picked raspberry, okay, and we're just going to roll this on and just add a little hint of it across our page. All right. And then we're going to add on some texture paste using our spatter. Okay. Sally, check you have got this D'Inkable. I would have thought so. But like I say, now we're up to set 12. It's I can't keep track of who's got what as well as I used to. All right. So I'm going to get on with my grit paste. And I'm going to go up in this corner and now I still have weekly. People say to me, I notice you don't stick your Inkables down when you're using them. Are they okay to stick down? Absolutely. If you want to stick your D'Inkables, whichever variation of Inkables you're using, if you want to stick them down, you feel that gives you better results, you absolutely should do that. Okay? I don't, because I'm a severely impatient. Like, even when you're not with me, I don't stick them down. Because I'm so impatient, I'd rather risk something not quite going perfectly. The only exception I make is sometimes with the Inkables mandalas or easy frames. Okay? So, if you look at that lovely white spattery effect you've got there, okay, that also means you can add texture and get that white flicky paint look all at the same time without creating a super duper mess, if that's not your way. All right? And we don't judge you for that. We might not understand it, but we don't judge you for that. Okay. I'll tell you what I am going to do quickly, because I think it does affect how you view what I'm doing. I'm just going to grab a piece of card, especially when that's there, just so you can focus on the page we're doing. Okay? So if you look at that page now, okay, there appears to be a lot on it. You know, because there is. But look how quickly it came together. And by using something that we'd got started, I have a daily schedule of events which has got like social media posting and stuff like that I do. But in my crafty time, I actually have a stamping and cutting. I have that allocated time to stamp and cut out. Now, sometimes I stamp and cut out on brand new card and maybe colour in. And then sometimes I'll stamp on bits that I've maybe cleaned ink on during a live or when I've been making a video for YouTube or something like that. Or even if I've been making my Christmas cards and I've got a bit to the side. Do you know what I mean? I'll stamp it up and use something else. Because that way it's ready. So when I was like, right, I want to, because I don't want to end up with loads of pages in this book that aren't finished. I do actually want to finish it. And I know that's silly because I've only just started. So by selecting this, that chose my colours for me. Which is brilliant. Okay. So next we're going to stick down our bird. So I'm going to grab a palette knife. And I'm going to use my matte medium. And I think I'm going to drop him just there. But I'm just going to check him on the screen to see what I think. Do we think he needs to be a little bit further down? What do we think? We've got a minute. That's the thing with your matte medium, you can look at it a second. And sometimes when I'm on my own, I will take a picture of it. So I can see it more clearly, if you see what I mean. Alright, let me have a look. You like him there? Alright. So from here, we need some words. Okay. Now, something I've been revisiting quite a bit in the last week is my small words. Okay. So I think I'm going to go for Imagine Something Wonderful. Because if you could, or if you can, you should. Okay. Imagine Something Wonderful. And I can stamp that in black because my bird's stamped in black. So it will work. Alright? And your wordage says, I was saying this on a live last week where I made some ATCs. That is now on YouTube if you want to catch up. I'll grab them actually to quickly show you. I was using some doodle art as well. So that's also on the YouTube channel now if you want to check that out. Imagine Something Wonderful. The thing with your small words is I really like using them on big projects as well as obviously ATCs and smaller journal pages. I do think because they're small, they almost work better on some big pages because it's not the obvious choice, if you see what I mean, which can be quite cool. Right, I'm just going to give this a little bit of a heat set before I cut it up, otherwise I'm going to rub my arm through it and swipe it up, which would not be the end of the world, I just don't want to. So we'll give that a quick waft with our heat tool. Okay. Again, you could cut that with your paper trimmer if you wanted a straighter line. In fairness, every single line in the world is straighter than the one I just cut. But, you know, it's just not something generally I can get. This is where, if you don't know me for a long time, even if you do have known me in recent years, if you don't know me for a long time, when initially when I was a crafter, when I first started crafting, I mean, I did scrapbooking. And everything had to be regimented, balanced, even. All photographs had to be double layered. And it was very, very regimented. And clean lines. And all this sort of thing. And I can't even imagine me being like that now. So we're going to put Imagine Something Wonderful there. I'm going to grab my collage medium. Again. And we're just going to sit him down. Now, with your collage mat medium, you never worry if it squidges out, because it doesn't have a glossy finish. It has a matte finish anyway, so we don't let ourselves get worked up about it. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to get my Posca pen. Okay. So you see, we could have, to be honest, we could have used any bird on here. The only reason I didn't use this one is I haven't placed any sneaky blue on, but obviously I could have put that, me and that word, obviously, I really need to stop it. We could have put some more blue in the background. I think these flowers would have worked quite well though, but, you know. Okay. So I'm just going to add in, see the little hand-drawn hearts I've put on his body and then gone round. I'm just going to add a little sort of hint of those in a couple of different places. Just to tie it together. And your texture paste is very nearly dry already. And that's why I love that grit paste. It's so good. What did I colour the bird with? Okay. The bird, Sally, was a piece of scrap card, but it was distress ink. It was a piece of, I'm just going to see if I've got any of it left. I think I might have been out of my scrap box. It was a piece of scrap card, something like that, for example. Okay, that had distress ink on it. Just a mop-up sheet, sort of like the back of there. Okay, and then I stamped on it with my script background before I stamped my bird on. So that's the doodle art bird. Okay, so I stamped that over the top, and then I added on the hand-drawn yellow hearts with a paint pen, and then went round the lines with a white with the Posca. Okay, so this is where I keep like book pages that I've already started, signatures that I've ripped out of other books. But my, and like I say, when I say I schedule in cutting, okay, so this you're going to be impressed with this organisation. So this is my doodle art box, okay, and in this one I have different, look, see, so there's some of the smaller flowers I did when I did those big ones, okay, and you know, if I'm feeling good, you see, I keep all the ones that are the same in a bulldog clip or in a paper clip or something like that. So that's where I'll keep. So for example, all of those now, you see, I'll go back into my doodle art box, and just to prove that that's not a one-off thing and I'm not faking it, okay, I have an art stamps box, I have a journaling elements box, I have a Christmas box. And I have a sketchy box for the sketchy flowers and the sketchy birds. See? You actually did not think I was capable of that sort of organisation, did you? And I don't blame you. Because neither did I. But here we are. Here I am. Killing it. Alright. So thank you so much for your time this evening. I hope if you don't have a journal that has inspired you to grab whatever you can in journaling. I have also done some pages, mostly as short reels on Instagram, using this little book that I bought at the same time. Okay, so you can do little pages and things like this as well. So don't let not having a proper journal hold you back. Okay, when we all first started journaling, there was no such thing as proper journals anyway. That's how I know. All right then, guys. Like I say, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Sam is in Crafting Together with All Brands on Thursday, so be sure to check that out if you are able to at 2 o'clock. If not, you will be able to catch up with that on YouTube later in the week when it gets uploaded. Okay? Sam was a bookfluencer. A bookfluencer? I was really worried I was going to say that in a really bad way. Okay then, guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening, and make sure you are sharing your Makes in the Bee Crafty Stamps page with your Bee Crafty products, and also make sure you're in Sally's challenge, otherwise she gets very, very sad. Alright then, guys, she'll be putting on the Mardi Cardi. Thank you. Bye.